Imagine you're standing in a coffee shop and you see him. There's a guy, maybe 25, perfectly dressed, holding the door open for every person who walks in with a smile that screams, "I'm a good person." For 47 minutes, he's been trying to impress the woman across from him. He's nodding at every word she says, agreeing with her nonsensical takes on astrology, and laughing at jokes that aren't even funny. He thinks he's doing everything right. He thinks he's being a gentleman. But if you look at her eyes, you see the truth. She isn't attracted. She's bored. She's looking through him like he's a piece of furniture that occasionally dispenses validation.
Brother, you're living in a fantasy. You've been told since you were 5 years old that being a good boy is the path to love and respect. But today, I'm going to show you why that exact program is the reason you're invisible to women, and why the good boy protocol is actually relationship suicide. Let's set the scene for the tragedy most men are currently living. You walk into a relationship standing tall, full of your own purpose. But 6 months later, you're sitting in your car in the driveway, staring at your own front door, afraid to go inside. You've become an executive donkey, a lion in the boardroom who can fire underperforming staff without blinking, but a pack animal at home who mentally rehearses apologies for buying the wrong brand of yogurt. You've fallen victim to the systematic extinction of truth that happens the moment a man surrenders his authority to maintain peace. You've been trained to be a golden retriever in a world that is biologically screaming for a wolf.
How did this happen? It started in the nursery. The programming was installed when you were a child, mostly by people who meant well, but didn't understand the unfiltered algorithm of human attraction. Your mother said, "Be nice to girls." Your teacher said, "Respect women." Society told you, "Happy wife, happy life." This is the Authority Elimination Project, a deliberate effort to remove male leadership from the home and replace it with a domestic hierarchy where you are a second-class citizen in the life you are funding. You were taught that your worth is a report card issued by the woman in your life, and that if she's not satisfied, you failed as a man.
This creates a cognitive glitch I call the halo effect. Your brain runs a beauty is good stereotype, where you assume that because a woman is attractive, her feelings are facts and her desires are rights. You project virtue onto her and strip her of the one thing she actually needs to respect you: the resistance of the truth. You've created an information desert, where you only tell her what she wants to hear to get access to her body, and in doing so, you've become deception poisoned. But here is the controversy that makes most men's blood boil: the shit test paradox. Women test men to see if they are strong, but the very act of constantly testing actually weakens most men over time. Each test takes away a little bit of your backbone until there's nothing left but a hollow shell that says, "Yes, dear," to everything. And here is the kicker: she hates you for it. She is disgusted by the monster of compliance that she created because her biology interprets your niceness in the face of her challenge as genetic inferiority.
The drama explodes the moment you try to use male logic to solve female emotion. You think attraction is about addition, adding more compliments, more dates, and more availability. You think if you just open up and show her your vulnerability, she'll love you more. But the second you cry about your struggles or share your deep insecurities, she loses attraction faster than ice melting in hell. Not because she is cruel, but because you just showed her that the rock she wanted to lean on is actually made of sand. You've triggered her weakness detection system, which is more sensitive than any technology we've ever created. The fallout is what I call domestic Stockholm syndrome. You begin to identify with the goals of the system that exploits you and defend the very bars of your own cage. You enter the resource extraction protocol,
where your independent life is methodically dismantled. Your friends disappear, your hobbies are labeled selfish, and your money stops being yours.
Why does this matter? Because reality is undefeated, and it doesn't care about your feelings. You cannot logic your way into a woman's heart, and you cannot negotiate desire. Attraction is a biological and psychological response to stimuli, not a moral reward for being a good boy. Arthur Schopenhauer saw this 200 years ago when he exposed love as a biological trick, a chemical high designed by nature for reproduction that fades the moment it serves its purpose.
To reclaim your life, you must achieve psychological sovereignty. This requires the process of individuation, becoming a whole individual whose worth is no longer dependent on external approval. You must kill the part of yourself that seeks validation and develop an unshakable masculine core. When you stop participating in the dysfunction, she will paint you as selfish and cruel. Let her. Your job isn't to make her happy. It's to maintain your frame. In any relationship, the person who needs less holds all the power. True leadership isn't about being a tyrant. It's about being outcome independent. It's about having standards that you enforce ruthlessly. Quality women don't want a man they can control. They want a man they can't control, but who chooses to be with them anyway. Stop running the good boy protocol. Stop asking for permission to exist in the home you pay for. The red button is in front of you. Push it and start living according to reality, or keep wondering why your loyalty is being rewarded with contempt. The performance ends today. Reclaim your core. Don't say you weren't warned.